Hey guys, it's me Matthew again. Today I'm going to be doing another audio. And this time, this particular story isn't based or inspired by any other story. It's purely my own. And it's called A Tomcat's Happiness. And this one is a bit more easier for me to read this time. And this time it has a bit more additional audio sensations. And you'll see what I mean. But anyways, I truly do hope you all like this story. So please, if you like it, like, subscribe, press the ding bell down below. But if you're not new here and not subscribed, please like, subscribe, press the ding bell down below. As well as go over to my community posts, which I know where you may find, as well as go over to check out my previous audio series known as Anime/Dragon Knight Unlimited. But anyways, let's move on to the audio story. Chapter 3, A Better Day. The next morning, I woke up to the sight of the sunset. It was bright red and overwhelming that I thought it was beautifully vague, but I didn't mind it. I got out of bed and rubbed my head, hurrying up against Maria's right cheek, waking her up. She laughed. Still a little tired, she says, "Hey, boy, you sweet Tom, come here and give me a hug." We hugged each other. Then someone said, "Good morning, you two. How do you sleep?" Sabrina said, "We slept all right last night, Lily," she said happily. Lily said, "Well, that's good. Want some tea? It's mint and peach with a little bit of banana as well as honey." Sabrina said, "Ooh, sure, I'd be happy to have some." Lily said, "Okay then, I'll give you a cup." Sabrina said, "Thank you, Lily." Lily walked downstairs to get a cup of tea for Sabrina. Meanwhile, Larissa woke and asked, "What's the racket?" We fell back asleep. A couple of minutes later, Lily came in and gave Sabrina a cup of tea. Sabrina said, "Thank you, Lily." Lily said, "No problem." After Sabrina and Lily were done drinking their tea, the rest of the girls woke up and got dressed. We came down for some breakfast, and man was it good. After we were done eating, I went ahead and laid on the couch to get comfy. Pash came up on to the couch with me and snuggled up into my arms. She asked, "How are you doing, Sabor?" I said, "Happy and comfy." Pash asked, "That's good," I asked. "And how about you, Pash?" Pash said, "The same." I smiled and said, "That's good to know." We laughed comfortably. Sabrina saw Pash and I all snuggled in the couch together, then said, "You two look so cute all snuggled up in the couch like that." She smiled and took a picture. Then Arissa asked, "Hey Sabrina, so what are we doing today?" Sabrina said, "We're going to the mall today." And do you know what that means, girls? They all said, "To shop for some cute clothes." They all laughed. Then Sabrina's mother said, "Well, if we're going to the mall, then let's get some ice cream with chocolate fudge, caramel, and sprinkles." Sabrina gasped and loud whispered, "Sprinkles? Well, okay, then let's get going, she smiled excitedly. Sabria's mother said, okay, let's go, but what about Passion Sabor? Sabria asked. Hey Freya, is it okay if we drop off Passion Sabor at the vet for a playdate? Freya said, sure, I just need to call my mom real quick. Sabria said, okay. Freya called her mother and asked, hey mom, is it okay if we take Passion Sabor to the vet for a playdate until we get back from the mall? Her mother said, yeah, that's okay. We actually just were in the animal hitter room yesterday and is ready to be used. Freya said, okay then, we'll get there as soon as we can. Love you, Mom. See you soon. Bye. Her mom said, love you too. Bye. Freya said, okay, let's get going. Sabria's mother said, yes, ma'am. When we arrived at the vet, they dropped off Passion Eye there and left. Then the veterinarian that took a look at me came over and said, well, hello again, Sabor. Come with me. I have an area for you two ready to go. She smiled. I followed her with Pash. A couple minutes later, we arrived at the animal sitting room. It was full of things to play with. The walls were painted like a forest, while at the same time the current season. It was a beautiful room that any pure or half-breed would feel at home in. I saw a bed to lay down on, and so I laid down on it. It was so comfortable that I almost fell asleep right away. The veterinarian said, I see you are comfortable, Sabor. I'll leave you and Pash alone while I work. Have fun. She giggled and closed the door. Pash asked, well, what do you want to do, Sabor? I said, sleep. This bed is too comfortable for me to stay awake any longer. I closed my eyes and fell asleep. I heard a voice saying, well, hello, my little kitten, my little saber-toothed kitten. I love you, my prized young winter solstice. I hope you stay alive, or I won't be for very long. Goodbye, my little winter solstice. She kissed my forehead. I opened my eyes to the sight of who I thought to be my mother. Which, I guess, I was right. She was my mother. I woke up and saw Pash in my arms looking at me smiling, then asked, so, how do you sleep? I cried and said, she was my mother. I was her little winter solstice before she died, which I didn't get to see in my memories from my dream. She loved me enough to die to protect me. I continued to cry and Pash comforted me, then said, it's okay, I got you. There's nothing for you to worry about. I'm here for you, Sabor. I stayed silent and crying for a bit until Pash fell on her back. I was still hugging her when I said, I need my Sabria with me right now. I need her. Pash kissed my cheek and said, she isn't here right now. Right now you have me, and I want to help you. Plus, I want to see if we're related through blood. I want to know we're related so I know that my urges to comfort you is because we're related to each other. Do you understand me? I said, I do, but Pash said, but nothing. Just let me love you. You handsome Tom. I said, then show me a good time to keep me from thinking about it. I said, I will. She kissed my forehead. I got up off of her. Then she got up and offered me her hand. I took it, and she hoisted me up to my feet, then said, "Let's have a good time together." She smiled. We had a good time. We tickled each other. We went outside and ran around. We climbed a tree trying to catch a bird, and we took a long nap afterwards. But overall, I enjoyed myself. An hour later, after we took a nap, I felt a nudge on my right shoulder, so I opened my eyes to see Sabria smiling at me. She said, "Wakey, wakey, Sabor, it's time to go." I yawned, got up, then rubbed my head up against Sabria's cheek, purring. She laughed happily. She said, "Aw, I love you too, Sabor." "Okay, come on, let's go, you loving Tom," she giggles. We walked out to the car and we drove to the park for a run. When we arrived, we got out of the car and Sabria was stretching to get ready to run. Her mother asked, "Okay, dear, are you ready to wreck the opposing team?" Sabria said, "I've been training for this since first grade. I'm looking forward to kicking the other team's butts." Sabria's mother said, "Well then, go do so." Sabria and I started running in the beautiful forest around us. The forest is filled with cherry blossoms, pine trees, bushes, ponds, rivers, both dry and flowing, animals roaming around, doing their own thing, hunting prey for food, and a cool, gentle breeze that makes me run faster, faster, faster to no end. It's been 5 minutes on the trail, and we were 75% done when we all of a sudden heard a gunshot. I saw a bullet go past my face, and so I grabbed it to take a closer look at it. I saw it was made of a cursed blood bullet that would kill me, causing my eyes to redden. Sabria stopped and saw my eyes were red. I expanded my eyesight, trying to find who tried to kill me, then saw a flash of a sniper scope, and so I ran faster than a human can see until I was behind the sniper. The sniper had a knife heading towards my stomach, so I grabbed it and used the blunt end to knock the sniper out, and asked myself, now who would dare try to kill me? I took off the hood. I saw an old man of homelessness and loss, so I grabbed him with his gun as well as his knife and took him over to Sabria. Sabria asked, "Sabor?" I showed her the bullet and pointed out the old man. Then I pointed at me. She said, "Well, that little Sabor, keep him knocked out while I call my mom to tell her what happened." I nodded my head, and so I broke his gun to be sure he wouldn't be able to kill me when he had the chance. Sabria said, "Hey Mom, I'm at the Brook Trail, and someone tried to kill Sabor with a cursed blood bullet I learned about in school. So he's lying on the ground, knocked out by Sabor, and broke his gun with a tight grip on his knife." Sabria's mother said, "Oh my, I'll call the police to your location right away. Stay safe. I love you." Sabria said, "I will, and I love you too." She hung up, and so we waited. 2 minutes later, the police arrived, got out of their police cars, then came over, and one of them asked, "Are you two okay?" Sabria said, "We're both fine." Sabor, please give the officer the handle of the knife. I grabbed the blade on the door side and handed the knife to the officer. The officer grabbed it, then took it away. The officer asked, "Did Sabor kill him?" Sabria said, "No, sir, just knocked him out with the blunt end of the knife, I'm guessing." The officer said, "Okay, that's good. Wait, is he a vampire?" Sabria said, "He's half human, half cat, and vampire." The officer said, "That explains it. He's a vampire rebeller, a group who thinks that vampires should all die for what they had done in the past." And the 14th century Dracula montage. Sabria said, "Okay, I understand. We'll be careful." The officer said, "Good. Also, that cat side should keep you and him alive. I would know since my sister is a half cat and half vampire as well. But anyways, care to take a ride with me to your mom?" I looked in the officer's eyes and looked at Sabria, nodding my head. Then she said, "Well, Sabor trusts you, so why not? And thank you." The officer said, "You're welcome." We went into the police car. Sabria sat down in the passenger seat, and I went in between her legs, lying my head on her lap, closing my eyes, and fell asleep.